Well, we are getting breaking news right now on the story. Meanwhile, Private School Federation has decided to write a letter to the LG on the management quota abolition. Members of federations feel that there is some schools' right and choice to decide admission process. If the LG will not consider positively on their demand, they will approach the courts for their right. Well, that's the latest bit of breaking news that we're getting in at this point of time. Private Schools Federation have come together. They have written a letter to the Lieutenant Governor Najib Jung on the abolition of the management quota. Member of the federations feel that there is the right of schools to choose and decide the admission process. If the LG will not consider positively on their demand, they are ready to approach the court for their right. Cutting across at this point of time, my colleague Aditi Anant Narayanan joining us on the phone line. Aditi, the Private School Federation has decided to write a letter to the LG, but the management quota has always been extremely contentious because it is under the ambit of this that a lot of schools ask for donations.
Definitely, and that is the primary reason, Preeti, why many schools are objecting the decision, the change of the guidelines by the LG. In fact, now they've decided the Private School Federation, which basically has all members of the top schools of the national capital, they together, they had a meeting today in the afternoon, and they have decided that they will write a letter to the Lieutenant Najib Jung and ask them to specify the pointers regarding the management quota. In fact, after the change in the guidelines, many of the schools feel that this has kind of curtailed their rights of functioning. This has kind of cut down on their discretion, and most of the opportunities that schools used to earlier get to get involved in the admission procedure, that has been completely quashed by the new set of guidelines. And this is the prime reason why the abolition of the management quota has been a main point of contention since the guidelines have come out by the LG's office. Now, what this federation has decided is that first and primarily they are going to write a letter to Najib Jung, wait a response for him. In case the LG's office does not give a positive response to this federation, then they will go ahead and move the court to at least get this basic right into their hands, that they should have the right of management quota, which definitely, Preeti, as you rightly said, that it is one of the main funding platforms for all the private schools in the capital.
Appreciate you joining us, Aditi. Cutting across to Vijay Kaur, who's been tracking the story very closely there. Vijay, the Lieutenant Governor has completely turned the admission process for nursery students on its head, because if you look at it, the schools are not going to go down very easy, because that basic fundamental point of abolishing that quota, that is the point where most schools ask for donation and make money.
Exactly, and the schools are up in arms, Preeti, about that particular clause. But I've been speaking to someone who's a part of the National Progressive Advisory Council. Now, it is a government body that has been created, and it has a number of school principals from across the schools in Delhi that are part of it, and they were also supposed to be taken on board while formulating the new laws for admission in nursery, and they are up in arms and they are saying that they weren't even consulted. It is almost as if this decision was taken in absolute hurry. So they are very, very angry. What they are saying is that this particular rule, the new set of rules, are going to create gender bias, and they are going to create a huge disequilibrium in schools, which is not going to be good. As far as reservation for girls, 5% reservation is concerned, even that is not going to be healthy, because so far they claimed that they were admitting way more girls than just 5%. So there was a form of gender equality that they had already created, and this particular new set of rules are going to destabilize that particular equation in schools. What they're also saying is that there's no need for parents to celebrate, because these laws come with a set of guidelines and agendas that will in turn hurt the parents really badly come the new admission process and when the new academic term starts. So therefore they've advised caution for parents as far as admissions is concerned. Back to you.
You know, Vijay, how does this pan out from here on? How soon will we know what the new nursery students which would be applying for admission next year, that they would have to follow a particular norm or not?
Well, Preeti, I will just break it down for the benefit of our viewers. First of all, talking about the percentage of seats. Now, 25% seats in every school. That is a private school in Delhi which is not aided by any government organization or by any government body. Will have to have 25% students from the economically backward section. After that, there will be about 5% students that will be just girls. They have to admit 5% girls. And after that, they have to admit 5% students that are children of their own staff. So that makes it a total of 35%, Preeti. Now what remains is 65%, which is into what they call as the open category. Now within this open category is where the 100-point system will be applicable. Now how does the 100-point system really work? Till about last year, the system was that if somebody is staying within a 5-kilometer radius, they will get 50 points. But now that has been increased to 6 kilometers and you get 70 points. After that, there are 20 points for having a sibling in the same school. Then there are 5 additional points if your parents are an alumni, and then 5 more points for under the miscellaneous category. And this is going to largely be the framework following which the students will be admitted in nursery schools.